Hi.
In here, I'm cooking. What's the matter with you?
No, I was just reminded of that quote by Robert Oppenheimer. I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Overdid the crouton slightly, don't be funny.
Overdid the crouton slightly. It's like Gandhi's funeral pyre in here.
Yes, and now you've put the gas out, thank you very much. I was getting on fine till you arrived.
This lightness of touch you have in the kitchen is a joy to behold.
So, tell me about Pilgrim. Is he capable of murder? And I've heard him sing, obviously. I don't get it. You've got 6 witnesses, all saw her go in at 4 o'clock. Now, if that's right, he hasn't got a prayer. And yet he swears blind he was in the room all afternoon, fully conscious, and saw no one. He's either very stupid or very devious.
Or neither.
What do you mean?
Well, maybe the reason he's sticking to his story is because it's true. Is that supposed to be doing that?
2 more minutes. What do you mean, true? A girl can't vanish into thin air while walking through a pair of French... Do you know, I never know when you're winding me up. That's the trouble. Now, do you want to pick us out a bottle of something?
Any particular one? What's this?
Oh, petrol.
Petrol?
But I'm not going to leave it in the car overnight. Things get nicked.
I'll put it out in the hall, shall I? The canisters of napalm.
So this is the guy, you reckon? Jacob Flowers, who stuck the note under my wiper. What's his connection with Pilgrim?
You heard of an American cult called the Creed of Eden?
Funnily enough, no.
Well, don't ask me what they're into, some kind of eco-religious thing. The world is God's garden, all life is sacred. It's easier for a rich man to enter a camel if he stands on a box. Well, this character is their grand prophet and founding father. And if you know your history of rock music...
Intimately.
Then you'll know it was during Edwin Drood's tour of the States in July '87 that Roy Pilgrim became a disciple of the Order, leading effectively to the breakup of the group and some fairly deadly solo albums about rainforests and dolphins.
So, Flowers is going to stick up for Pilgrim because they're buddies, or maybe he knows something else about all this that we don't. Don't scrape that off. It's meant to be that colour. It's Cajun. Blackened catfish.
Looks more like halibut to me.
Well, blackened halibut, then. I had to improvise. We have less of the pedanticism and just eat.
The word is pedantry.
The logic of shelling out millions of pounds every year to people who had sex with trees was a bit lost on you, wasn't it? Roy's interest in the Creed was on the wane. Of course, once you were married, oh dear, serious cash flow problems. So, she had to be scared off. Sharpish.
You saying this was like a trick? To set me up?
Like all the best tricks, it was blindingly simple, in theory, and fantastically elaborate in practice. But then to a bunch of people building an ark in their back garden, all things were possible. Staging the break-in and putting him out were the easy bit. An hour later, he comes round to find he's trapped inside the White Room.
Help!
He remains fully conscious for the rest of the day, during which the only thing that comes through the door is a small, red-bellied frog. At the same time, a teenage girl, not noted for her frog-like appearance, is seen entering the door from the outside by a bunch of boys at the back gate. There's no way it adds up, until you realise the whole thing was a classic piece of misdirection, which relied upon us all making one very false assumption, that in both versions of events, we were talking about the same door. A shame you couldn't have followed that frog, Roy, as it hopped back outside. I think you'd have been impressed by the handiwork of the drones down at Hog's Belly Farm. God knows how long it took them to come up with an exact replica of the room down to every last detail. But I think we can assume months of planning and careful preparation when you went around. Sifting through the fan mail for a suitable candidate and forging the letter that would bring her here. Tracey Cook was instructed to call at the back gate at 4 o'clock because you knew there'd be plenty of witnesses then to watch her going in. Inside, I don't know, she's told us to change her plan. Roy's going to meet her at the farm. Whatever, she's whisked off out the front to be hidden away somewhere. All this time, Roy's been sitting in what he thinks is his own back room, jotting down songs. Of course, the one thing you couldn't duplicate was the hand-carved speakers from Africa. But that's no problem, you just took them with you. Finally, it gets dark. Roy nods off. And that's when you pull the second switch, making sure he won't wake up on the way. And back he goes into his own room, along with the speaker cabinets, which we know ended up the wrong way round.
As compromising setups go, it was a gem. The man's convicted by his own honesty, while you lot leap about in his defence to keep the handouts coming.
Well, you've got a colourful imagination.
And you've got a colourful frog. Lots of them, we reckon? Where's your little book?
Look familiar? The Anasazi river toad. Much prized by the Indians of New Mexico and many others for its narcotic secretions. Quickest way to get a fix, basically, is to put it in your mouth and suck.
Being careful not to overdo it, or you end up like poor old Toby.
That's what joined it all up, I have to say. If these frogs are being bred on a commune at Hog's Belly Farm, how the hell did one of them appear at these French windows nearly 15 miles away? Unless it had gone for a very long walk or hitched a lift. There was only one explanation. It had never left the farm in the first place. And as ludicrous as it sounds, the window and the room and Roy Pilgrim had to be there as well.
I'm sorry, I think my head may explode. I can't take this in.
The lads are turning your place over even as we speak. Now, you could save them time by telling us where she is. But what the hell? Let them have fun.